So I've been dropshipping for about over 2 years now. When I started out, I used to do all the product research myself, but now I've outsourced that to a VA. I mean, I've told a VA exactly what to follow, and this stuff here I'm about to show you is basically what I've been given to my VA. So, I mean, picking products is more of an art than a science. You just really need to go with the intuition, and as you start to run Facebook ads for certain products, you start to get an idea of what will work and what won't work. So at the start, it's normal to get products, it's normal to promote products that totally flop, right? You shouldn't get discouraged because you kind of get like a sense of if a product is going to work or not before you even launch it. But that comes with practice and a bit of experience, right? So I've got here that if you're a newbie, do not test products that cater to broad audiences unless you have an awesome video ad. So what do I mean when I say broad audiences, right? I mean products that appeal to the masses, right? That appeal to like every man and his dog, or every woman and her dog. But I mean products that appeal to literally everyone, right? So an example of like a broad product would be these storage hangers, right? For fridges, yeah? Everyone has a fridge, and everyone wants more space in their fridge. Well, I think some people do. I know I do. So it's like me being the target market, but that also means that they're, like 80-year-old grandma is the target market. It's not having a defined audience, right? So these products, right? These general this is a silicone sponge, right? So this has been promoted by everyone, but instead of like a normal sponge, the material is silicone. So yeah, apparently it's not as dirty or something. But anyway, these two products appeal to the masses, right? They appeal to like everyone who has a kitchen, basically. And the really good thing about these general products is that you can scale, you can do huge numbers with these, right? They're so scalable because the target market is so big. But at the same time, it's so hard to target people who like have an interest in storage fridge hangers, or people who are into silicone dishes. Like, you can't just target people with an interest in the kitchen. Yeah, that won't work. So the way to do targeting for general products is completely different. It's different than the way I'd normally target a product that has a defined interest like this, right? So like a dog water fountain. Okay, so yeah, this product here, a dog water fountain. This relates to my second point. Always think about who you are going to target in the ad. If you can't immediately think of who you're going to target, then don't test it, right? So when you see this dog water fountain, who do you think you're going to target? Well, obviously dog owners, yeah? And then you could flex that targeting with people who are dog owners and have an interest in pet products. Yeah, when you're doing your product research, don't just see a product and be like, oh, that's a really good product, it looks cool. Think about the targeting, right? Think about what kind of person would buy that. Where are they shopping? What are they into? What are their behaviors like, right? So just keep that in mind. Right, so I got here that some products that you definitely shouldn't be testing, right? So there's a limit to what I'll test. So I have a very high risk tolerance when it comes to like entrepreneurship, but I don't have a high risk tolerance when it comes to liability, right? So what I mean when I say that, I mean that I won't test products that could potentially end in really, really bad situations, right? So you got to remember that you're buying from AliExpress, right? So there's hardly any regulations in China. These sellers are money hungry. They're basically like anonymous, right? It's going to be so hard to track down a supplier, and even communicating with them is tough sometimes, right? So one of the things that I will never test ever is ingestibles, right? So anything that you can swallow, anything that you can eat, and I'd even stay away from anything that you put on your skin. Because if people have allergic reactions and stuff. Because if you sell something and something goes wrong with like a person's health, you're liable because you sold that product, right? So I want to stay away from anything like that. So I've got here, there's like this like weird charcoal powder for your teeth or something. I would never sell this. You're putting like random Chinese ingredients that likely aren't regulated by like any FDA authorities or anything in your mouth and brushing them around. I just wouldn't sell it, right? So another product that I saw some other dropshippers sell was like a rock climbing harness. There is no way in hell I would sell a cheap AliExpress rock climbing harness to anyone. If that rock climber fell off due to like some faulty metal in here, then it's likely that your shop would be liable, right? So yeah, so I've got here products where I can foresee liability, right? I can foresee liability of a climber falling off a mountain because you sold him a dud rock climbing metal product. And then I've got here any kind of medical products. So like, I'll stay away from like any products that look like medical devices. I'll just stay away from, because I mean, at the end of the day, again, I have a really low risk tolerance when it comes to products like these. I know lots of stores that do really well selling tons of stuff that I wouldn't. And I mean, like, there's different laws depending on which country and which state you're located in. So, I mean, if you're really worried, you can go seek some professional advice about it. But yeah, I'm just telling you what my personal risk tolerance is for these products. So then we have our medium risk products. So I see electronic products as medium risk because I have sold them in the past and I've done really, really well off some electronic products. But there are a couple things that I'll always look out for, right? So I'll just start off with saying that, yeah, electronic products are medium risk due to high refund rates and chargebacks. So I've got down here as well that I will never scale an electronic product blindly, right? So what does that mean? So I will test electronic products blindly, which means that I will just get the AliExpress seller to send them directly to the customer, and I'll never touch the product. But if I see an electronic product doing really well, I'll always order it off like a few suppliers on AliExpress, and I'll check the quality of the product before I scale it, because I want to know it works, right? There's nothing worse than seeing a product become a winner, then blindly shipping all the product to the customers and then finding out 2 weeks later it hasn't worked and having to refund them. So that's what I mean by blindly drop shipping. And if I get a winner, I'll always order the product and inspect it first, right? So yeah, the medium risk as well due to faulty or damaged products. There's a lot of electronic crap that gets sold on AliExpress. A lot of it can be faulty. So this also goes back to the high refund rates, because customers can tell a lot of the time when something is a cheap knockoff and will ask for a refund. And then this is another problem that I get constantly as well. So products often come with no instructions or manual, especially if they're an electronic product. So what I do is I ask the supplier if it comes in a box and if instructions are included. So I usually ask like 3 or 4 different suppliers. If I find one supplier where they say, yes, it comes in a box and instructions are included, I'll go with that supplier, even if I have to pay a little bit more, because the refund rate and the chargebacks will be lower if customers know how to use the product, so if the instructions are included and it comes in a box. So some electronic products are literally shipped in like bubble wrap and tape. And that's a really, really poor customer experience when the person opens it and the buyer remorse comes up, and this will often lead to refunds. So yeah, I'd ask suppliers this before as well, if it comes in a box and if instructions are included. And then yeah, I've got here as well that some products that have batteries in them will lead to longer shipping times in the UK. I haven't really noticed it on anywhere else, but I know for a fact that in the UK, I'm pretty sure they can't ship via e-packet. There's some other postal method that they'll need to use if they have batteries included. Electronic products can do really, really well, but just make sure that they work and you're not scaling a faulty product, and that will reduce your risks by selling this product. Okay, so this is another medium risk product. I basically never ever sell clothing, right? Yeah, I'm not a clothing seller. I haven't even really tried to sell clothing before, but I've heard stories from people selling clothing on AliExpress. It just doesn't fit, and the lots of size charts on AliExpress will be wrong. So don't get me wrong that print on demand, or POD, is definitely a really, really good way to test products and to find winners, but this training isn't about the POD route. Like, that's a whole nother training that I'd need to do. So this course is about drop shipping products from AliExpress. I'm not going down the POD route. And the clothing that is on AliExpress, I basically will never test. I mean, I'm sure that you could find some suppliers that would have good clothing, but again, I've never tested it, and I'm not going to sit here and talk about it if I haven't tested it before. So I've heard it's medium risk from other suppliers. I haven't really done it that much. Just make sure everything fits if you want to do it. So trademark products. So this is products I would never test either, right? But I see like a lot of sellers testing out trademark products, and obviously I know a lot of sellers do really, really well doing this. So me personally, I'll never do it, and I'd recommend not to do it either. I don't think it's worth it. So I've got here the risk exposure is not worth it. So the first risk, there's basically 3 things that can happen if you sell trademark products. So the first is that you'll get a letter from Shopify saying that there's been a complaint and you need to take the product down. The second negative thing would be that you get a cease and desist letter saying that your whole shop needs to shut down. Or the third would be you actually get sued by the franchise or by whoever trademark you're copying from. And this would be way more common if you were in a Western country, say if you were living in the US where one of these franchises is based and can go after you. So yeah, I don't recommend promoting these products at all. So if you're worried about like a product on AliExpress is trademarked, or the images that an AliExpress seller is using have been taken from a trademark store, what I'd suggest you doing is just reverse image searching the AliExpress product image. So let me open this up. So this is our Santa toy that we used in a previous example. So what I do, I'm on a Mac, and whenever you go, so I want to basically save this Santa toy. So I go inspect, because I can't, for some reason I can't save images straight from AliExpress. So we go inspect here. We've got the JPEG image. Hang on a sec. Should have the JPEG image. Yeah, that's the JPEG image there. So I'm just going to copy it. So Command C and paste it up here. I just want to go and save this. Yeah, so I just want to go save this now here. And then I just want to go reverse image search. There's a few reverse image search engines. I like to use TinEye. And what you can do is just upload this Santa picture. I mean, this product isn't going to be trademarked because, yeah, I don't think you're going to find this anywhere. It's probably not the best example, but you can just use TinEye and go and find if that AliExpress product image has been used on any other websites. Yeah, just to make sure.